Hello and welcome to Kurious City. With a difference, we're on lockdown. This is all about helping creative freelancers, indie businesses, arts companies raise awareness about their current plight and tell you how you can help them. So if you're keen to get in touch or you know someone that needs some help, please email me, letty@kurious.art. And just to say, we are recording this online, so the audio isn't usual industry studio spec. So forgive us for that and enjoy. Hello and welcome to our special series, Kurious City on Lockdown. Today I am talking to independent free filmmaker Brett Chapman. Brett, hello.
Hello, how are you?
All right. Feeling a bit weird and crazy, as I'm sure the rest of the world is.
Yeah, same. I feel like I've now been inside for about a week, I think.
Yeah. Are you self-isolating?
No, I'm not self-isolating, but we're practicing social distancing.
Yeah.
So as much as possible, just staying inside. Try to get to the shops when we can and stuff, but for the most part, just staying inside, away from people. Predominantly just to thinking of our parents and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's hard. Mother's Day was a strange one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And also it was meant to be my sister's 30th birthday party on Saturday. There were meant to be 40 members of the family coming together. So obviously that got cancelled. I think she's a bit devastated about that, but it was definitely the right thing to do. It feels like right now people are starting to really take it seriously.
Okay. Right. Brett, can you just tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Yeah. So I am Brett. I'm a freelance filmmaker. I mainly work as sort of a self-shooting director.
Mm-hmm.
I make a lot of documentary stuff, predominantly short form documentary to go online. And then more and more, I'm trying to get back into fiction work. So I've just finished a short film with a theatre company that we shot in January. I'm now using this time to finish editing. And then separate to that, I do a mixture of corporate and promo and commercial work as well to supplement what I think of as the slightly more artsy creative stuff that I get to run around and do sometimes.
Yeah. So it's a mixture of the bread and butter income and the sort of crazy creative stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It was just starting to get to the point where I was getting to do more and more and more of this creative stuff. And I had a part-time job at Sheffield Creative Guild that I've been working at for 2 days a week for a couple of years now. And I had so much film work coming in. I was like, wow, I'm so busy. I think I need to step away from the guild. So I handed in my notice at the end of January at my stable 2-day-a-week part-time job. And now all of the film work has disappeared as obviously everything's been cancelled. I think I read an article that over the course of an hour, the entire UK film industry and TV industry just shut down.
Yeah. We had a meeting with Screen Yorkshire and they've said the same thing. They've just had to put absolutely everything on hold, which is just going to be going on throughout the UK. So, I mean, what is the plan? How can you survive this?
Yeah. So the plan at the minute is that I've talked to a few freelancers. I know there's already some people that I know of who are just immediately moving back in with their parents because work was cancelled and they can't afford their rent, or they certainly don't want to dip into the savings that they've had to pay for that rent. So I know that there's plenty of people already doing that. I think we've worked out that luckily I put in a few invoices just before this all happened that are due to be paid during the course of this. And then also 2 of my clients, I was meant to be filming at the National Student Drama Festival.
Okay.
So I work as their digital producer and I was going to be there for a whole week next week. And also I've been doing this film project with Eden Films, who are based in Sheffield. Both of those clients have basically honoured the invoice despite the work being either cancelled or postponed, which I think is amazing. And I'm not hearing about loads of that happening, but that's been really great. So that means that for a couple of months, I think we'll be okay to survive. But I'm using the time at the minute to finish off edits that I had to do, like a lot of people, like getting back to my own projects and stuff, and sitting down and thinking that I'm going to write something in between like bursts of panic.
That's isn't it? Because you think like, oh, I'll use this time, and then your brain starts saying to you like, why are you doing this? How is this helpful? The world is collapsing, and it's
absolutely
difficult to focus, isn't it?
There's I think day 1 or 2, I was like, I'm going to get so much done. I'm going to write all of this stuff. And then day 3, I'd watched all of Tiger King on Netflix, like everybody else. And I was like, this can't go on for months. Like, I need to do something. So actually, on the very first day that it started to get really serious, I'd gone to my studio to film something with Screen Yorkshire, which ultimately got cancelled, obviously. But I found that my studio had mice. So which was a bit rubbish. So I spent the whole day tidying that, and like my studio has never looked better than it does right now, and it's in the middle of town, and I've not gone to it since I tidied it and made it look amazing, because I was like, oh my god, there's mice everywhere, and freaked out, so super cleaned it. But my hope is that I can get to my studio and get some of my own projects finished in there.
And I mean, what do you think? I mean, I've seen that you've put out a really amazing kind of compilation of resources to help fellow freelancers, particularly in your industry. Like, is there a way that people listening to this can help? Is there anything that they can be doing to support you and others like you?
Oh, I don't know. It's really complicated. I mean, I think in the first instance, most of the freelancers that I know were all looking to the government to do more for self-employed people. There have been a lot of measures announced for people who are employed by businesses, but not a great deal for the self-employed. For example, I think we're now eligible to claim statutory sick pay via universal credit, which is about £94 a week. It's not going to cover the rent of most of the freelancers that I know. So there's a lot of panic around that. So I think writing to your MP support in petitions to do more for self-employed, really important at the minute. But also it's complicated as far as what we can do to help each other. There's a lot of small things we can do to just make sure that our neighbours and our family are okay, as well as trying to do that in as safe a way as possible. I don't know. I'm still trying to find my way through it and do the right thing. We're trying to remain calm in our house, but more and more it's becoming a very real situation for everyone, isn't it? And then you see the videos of like hundreds of people trying to get into supermarkets all at the same time and stuff. I don't know what the answers are, but I think trying to support each other, and like the resources that I made, it's just a list of stuff that I keep seeing popping up on Twitter. I did it for like Sheffield Creative Guild, just for creatives in general to have something to refer to. And then there's all these actually like really great subscription deals and stuff that are happening for filmmakers at the minute. And if we're all trapped inside editing or writing, we may as well take advantage of the stuff these companies are doing.
Do you think that there is somewhere in the midst of this chaos a creative opportunity?
Well, I'm waiting for the first like short film rom-com to come out about two people who have to self-isolate together. I'd say we've got until Wednesday before that appears somewhere on the internet. I think actually what will happen is, because everything is shut down, you have all these people that work in the arts, work in film, work in TV, stuck inside currently, panicking about what they're going to do. I think people are going to produce a huge amount of work relating to this current crisis. And when we can eventually all get back, there will be an insane influx of scripts and projects and short films and series all around this, which I think in its own way could be quite an overwhelming experience. I think the key might be to start trying to make stuff that's not related to this and have that ready.
I mean, if someone said, "Oh yeah, I've written this script and it's about a major pandemic that just happens," you sort of be like, "Well, is that is that conceivable? Is that convincing?
Yeah, but then again, you find yourself at the 5 p.m. briefings watching like the Prime Minister talking like, yeah, this feels pretty much like a scene out of a movie now. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
we're in a dystopian novel. There we go. Episode of Black Mirror done.
Exactly. If we were all allowed in pubs or cafes, then we'd all be crowded around the TV watching those briefings and stuff. But as it is, we're all at home watching it on our phones. But it definitely, it's feeling more and more surreal. And I think a lot of people are going to produce stuff around that. And some of it will be great and some of it will really not be.
Yeah, yeah. So when this situation has finally gone away, what is the first thing you're going to do?
Oh, go and see my mum and dad probably. Yeah. As soon as I feel like it's safe to go see them, I want to check in on them and go like, we're talking every day, but obviously not able. Are
they in Sheffield?
They're in Barnsley, so it's not too far away. And then my sister and my nephews and stuff are really nearby them. So when this is over and we can get out there, first thing I'll do is go and see them. Definitely,
because there's going to be some massive parties happening.
Yeah. There's going to be a huge party. It's going to be crazy. But I think before we get to that point, we've got to navigate some really difficult times, and I think we've probably like barely begun as far as what's going to happen with all of this so far.
Have you got any sort of messages to the people and the creatives of Sheffield about, just anything you want to say to them?
I don't know. I think first off, we all have to have like solidarity with one another, and follow the advice as best we can. Keep trying to make stuff, but don't feel pressure to use this time that we've got off to just sit around writing the next best novel or your amazing script or whatever. It's okay to just use that time to relax. Some people have not had any time off work for as long as they can remember. It's a horrible situation to get that, but you know, this pressure to use all the time to just make amazing work, I think that's a bit much for people. Like, everyone's different. Not everyone's having the same experience of this. So just generally for creatives, just look out for each other. That's all any of us can do at the minute, I think.
Yeah. And what kind of, the impact is it having on the guild?
As far as Sheffield Creative Guild, we've now shifted to all working remotely. And at the minute, we're putting together a program of online courses and workshops that created by our members for our members that we'll be able to offer. So as soon as we get the functionality in place to do that, we'll be able to offer it. But as far as what we're doing on a daily basis, we're just trying to keep on top of the news, opportunities and resources as they develop, become available, share those, and just be there as sort of a link between our members so that everyone can keep in touch with each other.
Yeah. Well, that sounds good. Well, I for one, as a member of the guild, I will be looking forward to that. Good. But I wonder as well if this whole kind of time where we're kept inside and sort of strapped to our screens, it might kind of renew our appetite for the simpler things and actually being able to just go to the shop and buy what we need, or go out to the country and walk, or just see our friends. Like, it might have quite an interesting psychological effect on our collective society.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like nothing like this has ever happened in my lifetime.
No.
This feels like something of like a world-changing event that the other end of it will come out and everyone will be a little bit different. I'm not sure how yet, but I hope that you're right and that we come out of it appreciating things a little bit more and maybe recognizing that not all meetings have to happen in person.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't need to get on a train. You can just use Zoom.
Yeah. Here we are.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. If people want to sort of follow you and find out about what you're doing, or maybe get in touch with you if they've listened to this, how do they do that?
They can just find me at Brett in the City, or brettinthecity.com, which is my website, and everything's linked in there.
Great. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
No, thank you.
A Kurious Arts production.